Marco Baccanti graduated in industrial chemistry at the University of Milan, with further studies in economics and management at Duke University. Marco started his career in 1986 as a research scientist at Carlo Erba Instruments in Milan, Italy, filing 4 international patents and developing 2 innovative analytical instruments, then becoming an international sales manager with extensive traveling for the global launch of his line of innovative equipment. Marco Baccanti, former CEO of Health Industries SA, and one of our now Rotary members, Vesna Jovanovic, CEO of Australian Medical Travel, worked together on multiple international trade missions led by the Premier of South Australia. Joining us today is Marco's accomplished wife in her own right, Ankita Baccanti, mother of their 2 children. Welcome, Ankita. Marco became a Rotarian in 2008 as a member of the Rotary Club of Dubai and was a member of the Rotary Club of Cesena, Italy from 2010 to 2015, and potentially soon a member of the Rotary Club of Adelaide. Please join me in welcoming our guest speaker for today, Marco Baccanti.
Thank you for this invitation, Leonard, and it's a great opportunity to tell you about something is happening here in Adelaide. It's a story of a translation from results of research activity happening in our laboratories, in our universities, to the market, to the people globally. It's a story of a collaboration between academia and industry, an example that I would like to share with you about how these things are happening and how people can get benefits from science. So I should provide some background before starting, because a long journey. Everything started from when I did arrive with my wife Ankita here in Australia. It was around 6 years ago when the government started a headhunting campaign to find international professionals able to lead the economic development drive for life sciences. I was selected, and we decided to come to Adelaide. I started as a chief executive of an organization called the Health Industry South Australia, and the mandate was economic development in my sector, life sciences. I've been always in this industry. If you think to Adelaide, we have some companies in life sciences, in medical device and pharmaceutical, but not a big cluster. So the best way is to help companies outside Adelaide to have reasons why they should invest and establish operations here in Adelaide. And the best way to do it is by leveraging what are the results of our scientific research activities. We have a strong network of academic research, thanks to what happens in our 3 universities, thanks to what happens in summary in the hospital sector. So the point is to find results of this research and offer these results to companies outside Adelaide or international or Australian, to offer them an opportunity to leverage this research and to go to the market. This is exactly the story that I would like to tell you. This is the story of an innovation that I discovered at University of Adelaide. You know, we talk about nutrition and nutrition tests and about how we monitor our nutrition by blood analysis, by analyzing fatty acids, by analyzing vitamin D. We know, we experience it every time we're asked to make a blood analysis. We must go to the doctor to collect blood from the venipuncture. We must wait for some time. We must go back to the doctor and be told about the results. What I discovered at the university was that for many years, they've been doing it in a completely different way. They've been doing it with a simple finger prick on the finger, with just 1 drop of blood. Wow, I was not aware of it. And they've been doing it for 10 years. They've been doing it thousands of analyses every month. And everything was inside the academic community, not outside. So people was not benefiting of it. If you think to my mandate of economic development, my next idea after discovering there was this potentially interesting technology was to look around if there is perhaps a company that may be interested to invest, creating jobs and creating opportunities. I looked around and I thought to a company that I knew because we helped them to establish another collaboration with the University of Adelaide, so they were already in Adelaide. A company which is actually based in Melbourne with 450 employees, with factories in Malaysia and the United States. They manufacture technologies for analytical testing laboratories. So in my idea, there was an intuition of a potential match between the discovery and the market represented by the company. The company is Trajan Scientific and Medical. And what happened? We simply organized a meeting. But I was linked to non-disclosure, no? Because I had information that was confidential for both sides. So we simply we organized a meeting, having the company for one side, having the scientists from the other side, and we suggest you, company, to disclose something about the strategy that you have, and we suggest you, scientists, to disclose something about the discoveries that you have done, because we see a reason for it. And they started this type of collaboration with the action of the government to support it. The intuition was good. The intuition that there was a match between them was confirmed. Was confirmed because the operation were clearly matching. The company was clearly interested to know more about the technology, and the scientists were clearly interested about the opportunity to have people taking advantage of their discovery. After that meeting, we helped the two parts starting together, and we end up with a joint venture. We end up with a license agreement, so the company started acquiring the intellectual property rights of the technology. And finally, a company was established. It was 2017, and they started a strong collaboration at a research level. In 2019, I was then asked to join the company that was established, called Trajan Nutrition, as chief executive, to continue the initial effort to create this opportunity, and I accepted. It was end of 2019. As a first thing, we had to think about the products. We designed new products to allow people to collect a single drop of blood from their home, from their office, without obliging them to go to the doctor, to be collected with a venipuncture, and so on. We designed something very basic, something simple that I can put in my pocket, a card that you open, with just a paper here. We can simply touch after finger prick, and one small drop of blood is absorbed. Then you close, you simply post via mail, standard mail, in a letter. And the laboratory receive it and make the analysis of your vitamin D or your fatty acid. We also developed a more sophisticated device that is more for research for the same purpose, based on the same concept that is more user-friendly and cost-effective. So with this product ready for the market, we decided to go for the next step. We were ready now to approach the market, to start finding the way how this technology, this idea that was just at the research level may benefit people. The first obvious idea was perhaps pathology laboratories that are now running all our analysis will be the ideal target for this new solution. They are now collecting our samples and they are running our samples, so they will be very pleased probably to know that today they can use just a very user-friendly way to collect our sample with just a finger prick drop, and not obliged to have a cold chain for the transportation of the vials and so on. It is also quite cost-effective and cheap in comparison with the current methodology. So we approached the pathology laboratories in Australia, in Europe, in the United States, with a long leveraging all the commercial team of the company. Big mistake. No traction at all. It was impossible for this target company to accept the idea to change from the current methodology. For good reasons from their point of view. Because if you measure from the business model point of view, okay, it's something new for them, something that requires some investments, requires some change. There was no appetite to change. So we changed the strategy with the same idea to find a way that science should benefit people. That was a drive behind it. Next strategy, think to us when we go to buy, for instance, vitamin D or fish oil to the pharmacy. Half of the population of Australia is a client of supplement today. We buy these products without a real evidence that we need them. We don't measure ourselves. We simply imagine that it's good for us, and that's enough. Imagine a future where the companies that are selling us this type of products will be offering us an easy way to be tested if and how much of these products we will need. So there is a market called personalized nutrition, where the supplement industry will be particularly interested to offer this solution to their clients. So we approach them with the idea, we have the methodology, we can transfer the methodology to their laboratory, they can make the analysis, we can offer all the sample collection technology, and they will go to the market. Second big mistake. No way. It's true that personalized nutrition is very important. They confirmed our intuition that it is fantastic for them to offer to the client the opportunity to be tested. What was our surprise is they don't want to use their laboratory for it. They have laboratories, big laboratories, but they're basically for manufacturing, for quality control. They did not have any appetite to transfer our methodologies for this type of analysis. So we went for the third strategy, which is happening today, in 1 year, 1 year and a half. The next strategy is the best way to benefit people is if we provide not only the tools, but also the analysis, the laboratories. So we decided to establish a network of laboratories in order to offer to companies, to partners, the opportunity to go to the market, offering the solution to the consumer, using our technology and our laboratories. So I first made a change in the agreement with Summary. Now we can use their laboratory for commercial purposes. And we decided to invest in a mother company in Melbourne to create a new laboratory for the analysis of vitamin D and fatty acid. We also decided to acquire a laboratory in Australia and to have access to those methodologies and instruments. We also decided to acquire a partnership and shares of a company in the United Kingdom for the same purpose. We also are considering to go for an IPO at the Australian Stock Exchange in order to have the cash to go ahead in this direction of further acquisition and growth, to create a network of laboratory in order to be on the market with a combination of way to prepare the sample and results. And we are now targeting different type of partners that we see in the market. First of all, supplement companies. It is clear that they need to offer us as consumer in the future the opportunity to be tested in a very user-friendly and cost-effective way. But they need analysis, and we can provide them. Second target are naturopaths and health professionals who have clients, and they want to help the clients to be better aware about nutrition and patterns. And this is happening now with a very simple way. Another target are big corporations. Big organizations like big companies, universities, are now offering to their employees programs called the corporate wellness to enjoy a better lifestyle. They typically help for physical activity or smoke cessation or mental health. There is a future soon when they will offer to their employees the opportunity to have testing of their nutrition, to be helped to make a right decision in lifestyle in order to enjoy a better health. Better health of the employees means better wealth for the company, better competitiveness. It's all linked. Insurance company, there will be also another target because members will be offered the opportunity to be tested for nutrition in order to have a better control of their lifestyle, which will finally generate less claims to be paid by them. So there is a reason, but the target is to have a healthy community because of better awareness of nutrition. So we are now there, close to the final delivery to the market by the combination of manufacturing of sample collection tool and delivery of results through partners that will go to the market targeting and helping their consumers. They will engage consumers, employees, members. All of us will be given the chance to be tested in a very easy way and to get some advice about our nutrition, about our lifestyle, and some correction we may be asked to do, but in a position to be by far better aware than before. So this is a story that I decided to share with you, and the opportunity to finalize the target, which is science developed in Adelaide, discoveries coming from our network of scientists or academia and research centers, results that are here today that can be finally provide benefits to people like us. Because it's difficult, you might see many times a discovery from the university that hardly achieve the target to provide benefits to people. In order to succeed in this way, you have to combine an activity from academia and research with a strong partnership with industry to deliver something to the user. This is my story. Thank you, Elena, for the initiative to invite me today to share something that is happening in Adelaide, to share something that is starting from our laboratories and targeting people that will benefit from it globally. Thank you.
Marco, sorry, Marco. Okay, get back here. No, no, Marco, can I just say how fantastically intriguing it is to see inside the mind of such a successful pioneer in this field in Adelaide. I think the state is very lucky to have you. Marco, we'll just have some questions from the audience, if anyone has anything. Yes, Adriano?
Thank you, Marco, for the presentation. I'm wondering whether the level of, I'm thinking in Italian now, but the rejection, the level of rejection that you have experienced, could it be due to the fact that there is a fear that the technology and the tools could go beyond fatty acids and vitamin D and cut into a much bigger market that these companies are actually handling at the moment?
You are perfectly right. This is just a starting. 2 biomarkers are a good start. There are 2, but the most important. But what I didn't mention is because of the decision to go to the stock exchange and because of leveraging the cash that we get from this operation, we will be able to invest in research, which is already happening, in order to deliver other biomarkers that will measure exactly in the same way. At that moment, it's a matter of months only. We will expand the range of biomarkers offered with the same user-friendly methodology.
Hi, thank you. That should be on. I'll just hold it real close. Thank you. That was interesting. I was thinking about your target markets, and you've indicated medical professionals, and it got me thinking out of left field, with getting blood samples from the elderly is always very difficult to find a vein. So have you thought of targeting aged care providers, so both residential aged care and aged care in the home? Because you don't need a special nurse to take these samples. Aged care community workers could do that.
You're right, it's an important offer that we have, especially for vitamin D. You know that we synthesize vitamin D from the sun. You know that it's more difficult at a certain age to make this metabolic change from the UV light into the metabolism leading to vitamin D. So after a certain age, typically your vitamin D range is lower. So having this opportunity to monitor quickly and frequently is important. For aged care sector, it's important to reduce a minimum the involvement of nurses. So these methodology are clear. And I cannot disclose what's happening in our laboratory, but there are new biomarkers exactly for that type of segment of the population. Eye and blood?
Blood clotting. Can you replace
it is, yes. It is not happening yet in that way. It is not a biomarker that can be measured with this technology yet. I know the importance.
So,
Thank you, Marco. That was wonderful. I really appreciate how science is becoming more and more important in our world, and I think COVID in some ways has made us more aware of how science is impacting on our world and our health and well-being. But just on a personal note, I have diabetes, so every 6 months I have to go and have a screen of blood tests. But as you're aware, diabetes is often about lifestyle factors and diet. Is there an indication that your test might be able to, replace my 6 monthly blood donation?
It is clearly a trend. We cannot, globally in the OECD countries, I come also from, there was a period when I was in the leadership board of the World Economic Forum about these topics. It's impossible to imagine that we can continue in the same way by providing this type of expensive service to the individuals. The healthcare will transition from the current sick care model to a new healthcare model where individuals will be offered chance to test them at home without being obliged to go. So this story is one chapter of a bigger picture that is including technologies that now are arriving exactly to improve your situation now that you are obliged to go in a place to be tested. In the future, we will assist to a growing self-testing set of methodologies and technologies. We will see an evolution from us that are today patients to a future where we are consumers, where we decide to do something for our health before having any condition. So there is a big transition at society level in the OECD countries where we will end up with a double system, the current strong technology that help us to be helped when we have some condition that we call the current sick care, and a new pattern of healthcare where healthy individuals will do something to remain healthy. And this type of methodology of testing, but also related to physical activity, related to abuse of substances, related to health, to mental health, will become important and parallel to the technology to deliver patient solution when we're sick.
Your talk has been most interesting and,
Thank you.
And challenging. Now, I don't have any shares in Blackmores, but a lot of people do, and they buy a lot of supplements. And the supplement industry, as I understand it, is huge. And I can see your developments as being a major threat to that whole industry, including pharmacists who dispense them and all sorts of things. And I can understand why the industry is resisting some of your moves. It's a bit like the motor vehicle industry not wanting electric cars because the oil and gas industry will disappear. So you're facing all these challenges from these supplement companies. Do you see that as something you can work with, or are you going to be fighting it, or how do you see that?
That's a good question. In reality, what I can share with you is a great interest of this type of specific industry toward a future transition to a model when they will be offering supplements to a target that is not the current one, like us, consumers that are buying blindly these type of products, but to a different environment where we are offered advice from the same companies about our needs. So they see themselves evolving from a simple manufacturer and distributor of pills to an advisor for our health. And instrumental to this transition is to provide data, to provide advice based on scientific results. So they're happy to move and to transition to this personalized nutrition model. The difficulty that we found was because we were thinking them that they were happy to make the analysis by themselves. That was a mistake. But that was no mistake in our intuition that personalized nutrition is a trend that is appealing to them. They are happy with it, and they even see an opportunity to gain competitive advantage, to be the first to transition in that level in order to get shares of the market from the others that are more traditional. So we are offering them an opportunity to grow, compensating certain difficulties they are having now because of the global commerce problem. They cannot export to China as they did in the past, for instance. This is a way that I see it to compensate and to create extra revenue streams and to gain a more competitive advantage, provided that somebody is taking care of the analysis because they don't want to do analysis by themselves. Thank you.
Marco, once again, on behalf of the Rotary Club of Adelaide, I'd like to thank you very much for coming and being the speaker today. I'd also like to present you with a certificate which shows that a donation has been made in your name to support the Rotary Club of Adelaide's community and youth projects. So thank you very much, Marco.
Thank you. Thank you very much.